So I found, actually, my mom helped me. We found a pattern, we bought all of the materials, and my grandma helped me make tearaway pants. So I was the only little kid in 5th grade with tearaway pants that I made myself. So that was my start into the fashion industry. My name is Alyssa Deibert, and I am a senior sourcing manager for Target. So my overview is I manage the product from kind of conception with design team to figure out which vendors we're going to be working with, which factories and countries we're going to place the production in, and then once we have that solidified, samples come in and we review everything, I'll negotiate price and then manage the production schedule. And so it's pretty interesting because depending on what part of the year it is, I'm working on completely different product. So what I do is I work with our team of designers to come up with kind of our roadmap for what our entire line plan is going to look like. So I'll kind of work with the designer and the buyer together to see, what they're looking to buy and what trends the design team is seeing. And then based on that, I'll meet with my team of vendors and I'll figure out which of these vendors have strengths that match up to whatever design trends that we're seeing in the market. Yeah, my inspiration almost always comes from traveling. Not only, when we go over to Korea, incredibly fast fashion, incredibly modern aesthetics, and interesting architecture, and just going to different places, it's incredibly inspirational. I don't get to travel to Europe, unfortunately, with my current job, but whenever my husband and I have time to travel, we find ourselves in Europe, and even that, it's like the trends, the architecture, just seeing people out in public and people watching. I think travel is fantastic. Yeah, the stuff that we design in Minneapolis goes everywhere, from the Targets in Hawaii to the Targets in New York City. It's everywhere. It's weird because I'm seeing, like surfers or, just people at the beach wearing stuff that's from Target that I've worked on, and I guess you get into your own space and you forget that this is, it's much bigger than those people in the room. I became interested in fashion. Actually, it's a funny story. I played basketball and everyone was having those tearaway pants in the 90s. You could not buy them in any store. So I found, actually, my mom helped me. We found a pattern, we bought all of the materials, and my grandma helped me make tearaway pants. So I was the only little kid in 5th grade with tearaway pants that I made myself. So that was my start into the fashion industry. So in high school, I was involved in volleyball, basketball, and track. And then by my senior year, I was the captain of the girls basketball team and the track team. And then I continued doing track into college as well. And I was the captain of the track team my senior year. Any team sport will teach you how to work together as a team, which is critical. But then the whole leadership aspect of kind of leading by good behavior, or leading, bringing everyone along with you and not being a dictator and directing everyone what to do, but just kind of joining them in and just really understanding what they're going through. I think that was a huge, huge piece. I would say the best advice I could give would be just never give up on your dream, because if you are willing to claw and scratch and dig and try to find connections, you can make anything happen. That being said, a more practical approach would potentially be looking into the big design schools, so out in New York, even some close to home, U of M and UW Stout. Also, a lot of the professors at any of those schools would have great connections as well. Internships are popping up all over the place, and more startup companies are forming in cities all over the US, especially with the push for Made in America. There are a ton of smaller companies that people can get experience at. I think having an open mind is the number one thing, because not only are you kind of the mediator facilitating everything between the different personality types of a super analytical buyer and an incredibly creative design team, but you're also working with people all over the globe. And so I'll be working with a team in Central America who have different mannerisms and different communication styles than my entire team in Asia. And which is all different from my team in the US. So just being able to change and being kind of fluid and understanding understanding. That's the number one thing I think for my job. And then communication is pretty important as well, just again, because you have to be crystal clear and knowing that the communication style is going to change with every person that I'm interacting with. You know, if you follow what you love to do and you are happy every step of the way, if you search for happiness, I think that ultimately is like how I've gotten to where I am now, is because I've kind of stopped going for what on paper version of the best job ever to me would have been. It's just what do I enjoy to do, and then just kind of look at that and then being open and honest about telling other people what your goals are. That it's taken me a really long time to open up and tell other people, especially my current peers, what my goals are, because I think back when this is maybe the I don't know, maybe when I was in high school or college, I was a little afraid because I thought, oh, everyone wants the same thing as me, and so I always kept my, cards close. But now that I'm older, I realize, oh, people love to help people, and so if you tell people what you want, you'll be surprised because most times you'll get it.